Hello, everybody. Jess here, and this is take 3. I've already done a couple tries at this and keep getting interrupted from my kids, killing each other out there, wanting food. So, I'm gonna try to keep this somewhat short so that I can get back to them. So I'm gonna talk about the virus and some assumptions coming along with it that aren't really being questioned, or they are by some people, but not by mainstream. So I'm going to refer to it as the virus because I don't want to deal with censoring right now, but probably will anyways. So in regards to all of these mask orders happening, the general mindset behind enforcing them has to do with how it's spread. And this has changed over months now as well. So I don't know if many people have paid attention to that, but the story keeps changing. And I think it keeps changing not only to confuse us, but to create a little bit more chaos. So people just don't, it's that idea of unreliable, not unreliable. Can't think of the word right now. Anyways, like it keeps changing, or they just don't know enough about it. Oh, I can't think of the word. There's just no pattern to it. So I think it's kind of creating that chaos around it so that people kind of feel more fear or obligation to wear a mask just because no one knows enough. Which, by the way, is interesting considering they don't know enough to treat this, but yet we know enough to make a vaccine for it. Stop and think about that for a second. How are we going to create a vaccine for a virus that they supposedly can't even treat properly? Let that sink in. Think about that for a minute. So, in regards to how it spreads, they use the idea of germ theory as far as it's spreading in droplets from one person to another, which is based on an assumption. Because what that looks at is it basically shows, and all of these little videos you see from like Bill Nye the Science Guy showing how your spit spreads outward when you sneeze or cough. Okay. First of all, weren't we taught to cover our mouth when we sneeze and cough? Isn't that still relevant? I mean, that's common courtesy, right? If you're in a store around anybody, you cough in your arm, or you sneeze into your arm, or Kleenex, or whatever. Like, who's out in a grocery store around other people who just sneezes like, ah? It's kind of ridiculous when you think about it. Like, that's the justification to a mask. And if you step back a little bit further and just saying that talking to somebody, you get spit. Well, first of all, how close are you to somebody that you're getting spit in your mouth or around your face? And that's assuming that person is carrying said virus. But if you even go a step further than that, there is not evidence supporting the fact that a virus is spread in that manner. Simply showing that spit transfers in the air is not proof that a virus is spreading within that spit to somebody else. I need to pause this first. I'll be right back. So we are operated by the assumption of germ theory being attached to a virus. But a virus has not met Koch's postulates in terms of the same way that bacteria and other certain pathogens, fungi and stuff like that, do, yet we're putting it in the same category. Viruses are not well understood and they don't operate in the same way that we understand bacteria and fungi do. So how are we attaching the same theory about those things to a virus when a virus is not even alive? A virus has to be within the cell of a host in order to survive and replicate. So I don't know if anybody has ventured into the territory of looking into exosomes and the process of detoxification that I've spoke about a lot, and many other people speak about as well, that it can very well be a mechanism of our own detoxification from exposure to outside environmental exposures and other things like 5G and other things that can trigger your active detox, which is a natural mechanism of your body. That's what a virus falls into a category of much better than within the idea of bacteria and the theory around germs and how those spread. So the way scientists and doctors are lumping viruses into that same category is very misleading, and really leads us down the road for most of them to vaccines. So why is that? That's where we really need to start questioning the intentions behind this scenario, because now we're going to come into the fall and likely see, the second wave they've been talking about. They're preparing us for more of this. We've been conditioned to accept that there will be a lot more coming. So, I also wanted to mention, see, that's why I wrote stuff down, because I knew I was going to forget stuff today. There is a specific study, and I will search and see if I can find it and link it. Hopefully I'll have a link. I know people who have had the study that hopefully I can find it with them. So they were trying to use the theory of germ transfer with sharing spit. They literally took spit, saliva, or snot. I don't remember exactly which one it was. Something within the sinuses, and put it from a sick person and put it directly into someone who was healthy to see at what rate that will directly get someone else sick. I mean, you're literally taking this idea, spit, going into another person, getting into the throat or whatever, and seeing how many people get sick from that. How many people do you think got sick in that study? I think there were probably, I don't remember the exact number of people. It was in the few hundreds, 400 to 500 maybe, that were part of the study. The amount of people that got sick, 0. 0 people got sick by simply transferring spit. So that lends the question of, are germs and viruses really spreading in our spit? Or is that an assumption based on germ theory? I'm going to end it with that, and I'll come back for another video